All right. See the moment FBI
There are
agents
some pictures
arrested
there
the
coming in,
suspected
I
Pentagon
believe,
leaker. I'm going to pee real quick,
showing some of the
and
law
then we're going to
enforcement
move on to
activity
Dianne
there at the
Feinstein and other
family
shit.
home in Massachusetts, where the arrest was made. This is now obviously in the hands of, there you see the pictures of someone who is being, we believe, to be Teixeira, who is being taken into custody. The FBI was preparing to do this. They had hoped to have a little more time as part of this investigation, but the identity of this person was made public by some of the news media reports, the New York Times, and of course the Washington Post, which has been doing a lot of reporting on this over the last few days, reported on his identity. So I'm told by sources that the investigation kind of accelerated as a result of his identity becoming public. So now we expect that he's going to be taken to a federal court there in Massachusetts, in Boston, where the procedure will begin to remove him and bring him down to the Washington, D.C. area, where we expect that the charges are going to be filed for his connection to the leaking of these documents. At this point, there's not a lot we know about the exact charges. We expect we might hear more from the Attorney General and from the Justice Department soon, whenever they decide to make public the charges that are to be announced. But we do know obviously that they're treating this as a criminal matter. They believe that there's some serious national security damage that has been done by the exposure of these documents. The Washington Post said that there's as many as 500 documents that they had seen on various platforms, including on these chat rooms, Discord, which is a gaming platform. And so that's, of course, now in the hands of the Justice Department and prosecutors who are going to be bringing the federal charges against this young man. Again, 21-year-old Jack Teixeira, 21 years old, member of the Massachusetts Air National Guard. Again, those are pictures, we believe, of Teixeira being taken into custody by the FBI and by the investigators there who've been working this case frantically over the last few days. Diana, Erica?
Evan, thank you. Stay with us. Also joining us, CNN security correspondent Josh Campbell. Josh, as we look at the way all of this is unfolding, and again, if folks are just joining us, you're looking at these pictures from our affiliates there from just moments ago of Jack Teixeira. We believe this is at the family home in Dighton, Massachusetts.
I still do think that he shouldn't, he shouldn't get a lot of fucking legal scrutiny for this. I am more shocked that the military intelligence apparatus is so easily susceptible to leaks like this. I don't have an issue with leakers. I think that it's good to leak stuff. It's healthy. Yeah, maybe the fact that he's like white and Christian will save him, and you'll get like the Marjorie Titan Greens of the world defending him and stuff. What did he leak? He literally leaked top secret classified intelligence from the CIA and numerous other departments about information that pertains to America's surveillance. Which is an Intel Support Squadron. The dude had access to it, but in a support role. Not like he was using the info. Yeah, these kids come in being 18 and have access to all this information. If not vetted correctly, they will leak stuff. Read my chat, bruv. Like, he basically leaked, all U.S. surveillance on Russia and Ukraine. Like, Russian casualties, Ukrainian casualties, all this shit. It seems like he's personally a weirdo with like a lot of right-wing aspirations, or with a lot of right-wing attitudes. I mean, at least anti-Semitism for sure. He isn't a whistleblower. He wasn't giving away this info for the public benefit or responsibly to a journalist. Yeah. Amy Goodman said the leaker is a young racist gun enthusiast and was seeking to impress a small group of people, mostly men and teenagers, on Discord, an online platform popular with gamers, which is the funniest way to describe it. It's also the perfect way to describe it. I mean, it's because it's correct. That is precisely what happened. Better to also leak this kind of information to a journalist, a trusted source, over protected channels, rather than do it so you can gain fucking Discord clout amongst teenagers in your little racist splinter Discord that you made. But, you know, this is not a War Thunder leak explicitly, but spiritually, I agree. What happened to the China leaks? I've seen nothing, and it has been pretty much scrubbed from the internet. I can't imagine that this was leaked without the DoD imprimatur. Yeah.
Massachusetts, which is in the southern part of the state, just a little bit south of Taunton, Mass. As one of the things that stood out, so we just heard in this Pentagon briefing, there were specific questions about whether certain...
I'm going to be a fan. I'm going to be a fan. I'm going to be real. I'm just a fan of leaking. Leaky faucets, intelligence community information, just leaking in general. I'm a fan of leaks. Gas leaks I don't like as much, but it can be fun, Carbon monoxide poisoning allows you to do fun stuff like see ghosts. Think that there are, all of these the weird, you start hallucinating. That could be fun, right? I like to see the silver lining.
Platforms like Discord are being monitored. How long were these documents out there? And what we heard twice was that, part of what DoD does, they're really monitoring more on an international level, not as much domestically, Josh. So when we look at what is or is not out there, what is your sense of who is monitoring potential activity on these sites that could include sensitive intelligence documents? Do we know?
Well, I can tell you, after every major spy case that we've seen arrest in U.S. history, going back to Aldrich Ames in '94, Robert Hansen, who was an FBI agent in 2001, after Chelsea Manning, after Reality Winter, after all of these espionage cases, the government does an after action and tries to determine what were the vulnerabilities.
Shout out Chelsea.
Information compromised. And although, this arrest is going down right now, we believe that is the suspect there on your screen. The spy hunters are obviously celebrating that this person is now been taken into custody. They are preparing themselves for the accusations, the ridicule, the criticism that's to come. And that is, how could this information be compromised? And it gets exactly to what you were just saying there, as far as the systems, what monitoring is being done, what tripwires are out there. And so again, the good news for the spy hunters is that this person is now in custody, but they have a lot of work to do to determine what best practices may have been violated, what new best practices may need to be implemented. As we look at this video, I do want to point out one thing. Those watching may be wondering, well, why this overwhelming show of force here, where you have FBI tactical agents who are now taking someone into custody who isn't accused of a violent act, this person accused of disclosing information improperly. FBI agents, as they prepare their arrest plan, they will work to determine, gather every piece of intelligence that they can as they assess, is this a dangerous person? We know from that stunning Washington Post report recently that the individual who led this group on this platform, who we believe to be this air guardsman who's now been taken into custody, had talked about being a gun enthusiast, had been at gun ranges. He's obviously a member of the military. And so the FBI is factoring that into their determination about what type of force you bring to this residence in order to take this person into custody. As we saw at the beginning of the video, this arrest obviously taking place outside, and this is very much textbook. The FBI operators there want to control the situation. They don't want to rush up to the house and rush up to the suspect. What you saw in that video is the FBI agents commanding that officer, that suspect right there, calling him back to the vehicle. You can see the agents there safely tucked behind that up-armored Bearcat. They're bringing the suspect to them. him. They have control of the situation. You see that his hands are on top of his head. That obviously, so he doesn't try to, reach for a weapon. They need to ensure that he's secured. And so we're seeing that very textbook. They have the indication that this person may own a gun, may be a gun enthusiast. They don't want to take any chances. And then we move to the next step. That home now is a crime scene. As we've seen in all these major spy cases in previous history, the feds will be there for a long time because, of course, they need to determine, are there additional classified documents that are inside that residence? Well, we've seen in past cases, the feds will get their search warrants lined up ahead of time in order to go in and search that top to bottom, essentially, anywhere that a document could be disclosed, any social media, that this person may have been in, on any computer device, any type of phone, anywhere where a digital file could be that could pose a risk to disclosing information from the federal government will be searched. And so we'll have to wait and see what happens next. Obviously, authorities will be looking to determine whether other co-conspirators, other people who might have access as well. But at least the first step in bringing this to some type of resolution is now appears to be happening, and that is the arrest of this person. But of course, the investigation, there's still so much left to be done.
Damn, this guy's good.